am deep in your mind. I am deep in your... Hey everybody, welcome back to the Honey and Absinthe After Hours podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Vincent, a background designer from the Hollywood animation industry.
And I'm Janet, the ex-Disney artist turned independent creator, and this is a podcast about all things art, business, and whatever we feel like.
Now today we're going to talk about everyone is desperate for likes, proving y'all are toxic.
But before we get into it, make sure to touch, jingle, flick all our bells and buttons.
Oh, get nasty. Touch that like button. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, look at you. It's the winter time. It's the winter time. Oh my gosh, it's November. Time to get ready for Thanksgiving, yes?
Yes, if you can get a turkey somehow.
Good luck. Good luck. So, I don't know where everyone else has been, but if you have been paying attention to America, the TV show that is America,
yes,
it is getting lit.
Oh my
Mom,
God.
Yes, one thing after another happened. You know, the thing with Fauci and the Beagles.
Yes.
The thing with Alec Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
The thing in the Virginia. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. It's just week after week, just ridiculousness.
Yes.
And then so many little tiny crazy stories in between. So like, we hope you've been paying attention, because just the craziest things have been happening in the past month, just this month alone.
Yes, and I think
October.
It all comes back to the title of this video. This idea that everyone is doing this for the likes and the views, and literally everyone from young people, us boomer millennials, and the ancient boomers on the Twitters, in the politics. And I have been
going ree.
Yes, going ree. I have noticed this all across the board, and I wanted to start with TikTok because I have been...
Get back. Janet's been holding this in for a while. Get back.
Yes. I have been getting back into TikTok really heavily ever since I left TikTok. I feel a little bit out of the loop because it's my only window to what's hip and what's relevant.
You sound so old.
I know. I feel like a creepy boomer aunt that's trying to be cool. Like, I know all
the kids like the Pokemon?
Yeah. Let's Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh, God.
I feel like that right now. But, I wanted to talk about TikTok because I mentioned in the last episode how mean Gen Z actually are. And I want to reveal all their secrets.
Uh-oh.
So
you haven't even told me most of this stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Yes.
Tell us
I'm
everything.
going to
I'm with you too. I'm reacting right with you too.
Rant about all the awful things that I have seen. And you don't understand, Lydia. This is really, really worse than you can possibly imagine. The amount of cruelty in the world of this Gen Z generation. It's f***ed up because I remember TikTok when it wasn't like this at all. When I went back to TikTok, it felt like the entire algorithm has changed. And I have trained it to serve me certain things. I do not know why it is suddenly serving me this type of stuff. But let me start with TikTok used to be an app that was a lot more like the early days of Tumblr, where you get some cringe, but you get some amazing memes. Until Tumblr became just the worst. And during...
Help people understand why did it become the worst? What happened to it? It's for all the people who don't older people probably listening, they don't understand.
Well, it got bought out, and then they banned the porn. That's one. That's a big
Strike
one. And then the teenagers got way too the bad side of teenagers, where they get too angsty and too just complaining about every little thing and adopting really strange ideas and just being odd. And it scares a lot of people who are just there for the laughs away. just there to like exist and be and have fun and be a teenager. In TikTok, early TikTok, I really liked it because of that. Like you scroll past the people, the little 15-year-olds being cringy, and
sometimes you'd actually get genuine attempts at making something,
something
artful or
funny
creative.
or super creative. And now, well, back then, they kind of created people like Belle Delphine and the Thoughts. Like the term e-girl, I didn't know what e-girl meant until I discovered TikTok, and then I was like, oh, this comes from this, basically, and Twitch, I guess. And you know, back then, people kind of really celebrated being a thought. Like they basically were like, wow, you're hot, you're doing a very suggestive dance that makes everyone over the age of whatever you are uncomfortable. Like it would make me uncomfortable for sure. With some of them, it's like a little bit too suggestive, especially performed by the person who clearly looks under the age of 18. But like people were just like, hey, live and let live, let the thoughts be thoughts, whatever. And the people who get pissed off by them, their existence, usually are just like, I don't know, really insecure prudes or something. Or like, I don't know, sometimes thoughts just get like some awful types of comments for being thoughts. But now I came back to TikTok after a long while expecting to see that all over again, just like 15-year-olds dancing suggestively, people trying to be thoughts. It's all fun. It's all fun. But like people have started bullying the thoughts.
Gee.
Yeah, which I never thought I would see in my life, because like, oh, you'd think like, oh, people are giving the internet what it wants, right? Like why people were just so kind of like accepting before. Now with the whole not invention, but like, you know how the manic pixie dream girl was the term to describe a certain type of personality person that, you know, people didn't like or thought was cringy or whatever. That was like our term as millennials. Mm-hmm. That was the thing that went around. Now it's the pick me.
What is a pick me?
It's basically kind of like the same thing. But it's very specific. It's when a girl really wants male validation and will put down other girls to be the pick me girl. Oh. So like, it's similar to that. I'm not like other girls. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't have a lot of female friends because like I think it's cooler to hang out with the guys, or like it's that kind of behavior, like being like I am cooler, better than this other girl or other girls in general, just so like me, men or whoever.
So you're putting down other people so that you look more attractive, or you seem more attractive.
Yes.
Okay.
And they describe,
and like they what do they do, like make a TikTok about like, oh, these are the girls who are lamer than me, you know? Kind of.
Sorry,
I'm such a, I don't know.
They'll make a TikTok emphasizing like, I'm so small, or I don't know. It's hard to explain. They'll make a TikTok being like, oh, I'm not like other girls. I can exist without wearing makeup and I'm still beautiful. And then like it turns off a lot of people. I mean, like I showed you some of them, and then it turns you off.
Yeah.
It turns me off. But at the end of the day, being a 29-year-old woman at this point, I just look at that and I go like, it's just a teenage girl being a teenage girl. Like, I feel like not all teenagers go through this phase, but a lot of them do. And a lot of them just grow out of it. It stems from insecurity. And most teenagers are insecure with something, with their body, and they really want to be accepted. It is what it is. Like, I don't care. I look at that and I go like, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. But then I'll go into the comments, and then I see these poor girls getting just flamed, roasted beyond oblivion, and by like other girls usually being like, "Oh, you're so cringe. You're such a pick me," and like just like filleting this like these people, and I went like, that's really, really like interesting, because they're clearly trying to be thoughts usually in these types of videos. But like when people would do that before, that wouldn't happen. I didn't really see that in the comments. Usually it'd be very encouraging or whatever. But I thought like, this is so ironic that like now that the term pick me is in a lot of people on YouTube have made like internet analysis videos, for example, about the term pick me and what it means.
Wow.
Yeah. So like now it's become just like as common as saying you're such a manic pixie dream girl, like, ugh, and like just making fun of people by calling them pick me's. And I thought like that's ironic, because like someone calling another person a pick me is probably the biggest pick me thing to do, and it's like insecure people noticing and hating insecurity in other people, but then like really bullying them for it. Like, what do you think happens when you bully someone who's already insecure? Like what do you, any Gen Z who participates in this behavior, what do you think happens? And it just like upset me, because I was like, just leave them alone. Who cares if they're being a pick me? It's like not like the best behavior, but like who gives a shit? Like why are like hundreds of thousands of people jumping on each other's throat for something as innocent as this? And then
There's more?
There's more. There's so much more.
Wait, what? I thought that was the thing.
No. So then I saw accounts pop up that like will take these types of videos, someone being cringy or someone being dumb or someone being dumb in the way of like not as extreme as like saying the N-word, let's say, saying something truly like, yeah, you should probably get canceled for that, but like doing something as like doing a slutty dance or whatever, and you're 15, I don't know. They'll take that TikTok and they'll find them on Facebook, and then they'll find their parents, and then they'll Facebook message them with, "Is this your daughter?" And then they'll send them the TikTok.
Wait, they go through all of that?
Yeah.
They find them on TikTok, and then they find their parents. And that's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
That's really creepy. And what do they think? What do they think they're doing? Like doing the world a service or something?
They're getting a lot of views.
Oh.
People who are outing other people are getting a lot of views.
Oh, whoa.
That's why it's being served. It's usually like going viral on TikTok. There's a bunch of people like clowning on the person that they're doing this to. Yeah. And I was just like, I can kind of understand when you're trying to cancel someone that has actually done something genuinely horrible. But someone who's just being kind of cringe, someone who's just being a stupid teenage girl or a stupid teenage boy or whatever, like I just was like, you, in a lot of like people's lives, this could be defined as ruining someone's life for nothing, for the views, for the laughs. And usually, and this is even worse, when I always go into the comment section, because I want to see how humanity is. Especially like because everyone is capable of being anonymous, it's particularly like, oh man, so that's what humanity is actually like. They will, the creator of these accounts and doing these things to other people, they will link their Cash App.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So they could get a fancy car like that.
Yeah.
And just drove by it.
Yeah. So they can like monetize them, basically just attempting to ruin other people's lives. Other people meaning like 15-year-olds.
And people just donate for the lulz?
People are very like for it, because they're taking cringy videos from cringy people, and I was just kind of like, that's really disgusting. Like, that's really disgusting. Not like, from the person making the cringe TikTok is cringe. I guess they're just having fun or just being stupid. Like, you do stupid things when you're a teenager, but then like for someone to go and like bully them, that's awful. But then for someone to go the extra mile and then to create a huge audience of shitting on another human being who, like, it's worse that they're not adults. You know what I mean? It's worse that they're like under the age of 18. And then to like go through the extra humiliation of like, I'm going to tell your boss, I'm going to tell your parents, I'm going to tell someone or whatever, I'm going to show them how you actually are, how like the stupid things that you do in your free time, and then to monetize it. But then, in my opinion, the worst people of them all are the hundreds of thousands of people that are just watching it, sitting back, not just watching it, sitting back, eating the popcorn and enjoying it, like encouraging this behavior, being like, yeah, like this person deserves it, or like this person should go die, or whatever, like awful stuff. Jeez. And then I was just like, Gen Z, you guys are something else. And then I also noticed that
more.
There's so much more. There's so much more. Okay. That when people say something is cringe in 2021, they don't mean the definition cringe. They don't mean like, I'm just secondhand embarrassed by you or whatever. They mean they just don't like you. Like, because most of the time, there'd be a lot of people in the comments going like, I don't understand why this is cringe. This isn't cringe.
And what, are those the older people, or the people don't speak this way? Like, what?
I don't know if they're older, I don't know what, but I think, like, I usually, when I see these videos too, I don't think it's cringe. Huh. Like, if some 15-year-old's trying to be a thought, I don't see it as cringe. I just, like, it's just human behavior. Like, I don't know. It's not that cringy to me. Cringy to me is, like an epic fail or something like that. But some people, like, for example, there's one video I saw where someone was doing this very slutty dance, and in the caption she just said, I'm a small bean. SMOL and then bean.
Small bean?
I don't know.
I'm a small bean.
Yeah. Basically,
what does that mean?
So it basically means like, oh, I'm so small, like I'm a soft small girl or whatever. I'm so cute, basically.
Oh, I'm a cutie pie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
And
it's like language. What the? I'm a small bean.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to deduce that? Okay, fine. Okay,
so,
continue. Sorry.
Apparently, this term has been used a lot to the point where it is now cringy to use the term "I'm a small bean." Yes. So people weren't necessarily clowning on her for doing this dance and whatever. They were clowning on her caption.
Oh.
They were like, wow, you're so cringe. Just like hundreds and hundreds of comments being like, you're so cringe. I can't believe you used the word small bean. God, you're so cringe. And then my reaction to that was like, what?
Oh, so they're not. I thought it sounds like they're cringing at the caption, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. But then they're also making fun of her looks, everything. The fact that she's doing, and then people simultaneously would call her like, oh my God, you're such a pick me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you're so cringe, God. And
so a pick me is something you hurl. It's like a pejorative at this point.
Yeah.
You just hurl at somebody.
It's like calling someone a manic pixie dream. Well, like going, wow, you're such a manic pixie dream girl. Wow. It's the same exact thing.
Oh,
okay. Different generation. And I remember thinking, like, that's not cringe. Like, how a caption can only be so cringe, you know? I feel like actions are a lot more cringe. And there were a lot of people going like, I don't understand how this is cringe. And then people would be like, well, like, small bean is like cringe, like her caption is cringe, like she's such a pick me, like trying to explain it, and then they're like, just because she used that caption doesn't mean it's cringe. And then they're like, and then they would dunk on the person trying to defend her.
Boomer.
Yeah, basically. Or like, oh, you don't get it, you're just as bad as she is, basically, you're a pick me too. And I'd be like, oh my God. And I realized, because I've seen the word cringe being thrown around a lot by Gen Z, I realized, like, it doesn't mean cringe anymore. It just means I don't like you. It just means I want to hate on you. I want whatever. Because it
What's the word that it best equates to for us millennials, old ass mother to understand? Is there a word?
Square, I guess, or lame. Like at a certain point, lame doesn't mean lame anymore.
Could be anybody.
You're just stupid. I don't like you. You know what I mean?
I see.
And I wish this was the end of it. And then I stumbled across what people call messy Twitter. I'm not Twitter, messy TikTok.
Okay.
And it's basically the side of TikTok where everyone airs their dirty laundry.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Publicly?
Publicly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would they say? How bad does it get?
Abusive relationships.
Oh my god.
Abusive parents. Friends doing bad things to each other.
Oh man.
Crimes. Ones that involve lawyers. And yeah, and I was just like, why? Usually these things are being told by the person themselves. And when I come across this, I understand why it went viral. Everyone wants to see the tea. But I'm just like, this is tea that you should have kept to yourself.
Yeah.
And I
this is tea between you and your therapist.
Yes.
Kind of tea.
Yes, like this is like I kind of need to take a shower after this. Like I don't know why why it's on the internet. And then I realize the person telling the story is not like a bystander spilling the tea on their friends. They're the person themselves. And I go like, why are you doing this? And I realize like, oh, it's for the views. This went viral. That's why it's being shown to me. It's not like I actively go and like seek out messy TikTok. Like I don't.
Oh, it seeks you.
It seeks me. I'm like
Jeez.
watching like stupid anime TikToks, and I swipe, and then suddenly I'm being thrown into this weird story. I just don't want to like hear it. But then I'll go into the comments, and it's so bad. It's so bad because everyone has their 2 cents about someone's private life, and
man.
that people like taking sides, and people like trying to cancel people and trying to be like drop the Instagram handle. Like people will encourage people to like drop the email, drop the address, like just to do that. So, and I'm just like, why? And then there's another like in the same vein of like doing this to yourself to get views. I would see the re-emergence of fake pranks, fake social experiments, fake relationships, that kind of thing.
Like YouTube 5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
With the pranks.
Yeah.
And the forest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, I don't remember which one in the forest, and
that was like the end though.
But like the whole like Rice Gum, Gabby Hanna era of like drama and tea and fake pranks and fake relationships.
That's
all
where
around.
TikTok has arrived.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, basically just like stunts for views. And it like in a way it kind of all culminated to that one story about this couple, one shot the other, trying to do some
that's
stupid
right. Yeah,
prank.
I think it was a couple that wanted to get views on YouTube, and then they wanted to have the girlfriend shoot the boyfriend, but then the boyfriend was holding a book, but then the gun was like a really big gun.
Yeah, powerful
and,
gun.
Yeah, and that didn't end well.
Yeah,
and then like that kind of happened around the time the Logan Paul whatever thing happened too.
And it's like the era of the BuzzFeed stuff where like, oh, a girl walks down the street in New York and this is what happens, and then like them faking the fact that like the girl gets catcalled and she's not wearing anything special or whatever.
Wait, they faked that?
They faked that, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It came out that they like kind of faked that.
How did they fake that? Like those were actors or?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, what the
Yeah.
What is real?
Yeah.
What is real?
and like TikTok is not like unique, because I have also been noticing on YouTube that there are a lot of like channels turning into drama channels. Meaning, like, I will see a lot of, like, gamers, for example. They'll, like, play video games, but then they'll, like, talk about drama. And then I just be like, kind of like, what was that one artist that got canceled recently for being psycho? Creepshow, where she would like draw.
The Creepshow.
Yeah, where she would draw, but then it was just something to look at while she's talking about drama or whatever. And I've just noticed like a lot of that type of thing has been coming up with like everything. Like with her it was like art and drama. Now there's like video games and drama and there's like fashion and drama and like makeup and drama. Like it's just like so many drama channels.
What is the style in which they deliver the tea? Is this like, are they all going from whatever sub niche that they usually are to like talking head but with like a computer screen?
It's kind of like they're playing a video game and it's like playing in front of you something random and then they're just talking in a mic or something. Like they're not actually playing and talking at the same. They're like they recorded themselves play. It's like if we recorded ourselves draw and then we like did a voiceover over it and like just talked about drama. And
but
stuff.
then it has nothing to do with what you're drawing though.
Yeah.
Oh, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God damn, I'm old. I don't, I don't know what the... Okay, gotcha.
So, I have noticed a lot of these pop up, and I'm just kind of like, I miss when people were just good at what they did. Like, if you were good at...
Like, they didn't need this stuff.
Yeah, like, I miss when, like, couldn't you just be good at video games? How about that? How about maybe just be good at fashion and makeup or whatever? Like, you really gotta, like... do this just for views. I just feel like it's so kind of like I just think very lowly of all drama channels. And that's like the thing, like YouTube recently had like trying to be like, oh, we care about people's mental health, we don't like these drama channels, but like you still promote them. You, like these still are like a huge niche that I think is growing. And I think like it happened with Vine. Because like Gabby Hanna and like all these people came from Vine, and like this, it feels so cyclical that like you start very kind of like genuine, like the app is fun, or this little space on the internet is like it starts off fun, and then people start ruining it, and it like YouTube had this phase, Vine had this phase, YouTube continues to have like cycles of this because like YouTube stars will start doing pranks and crazy stunts, and then they'll go back to being chill, and then Vine will come in and then they'll start doing crazy stunts, and then they're chill again because they're like, I'm over being canceled or whatever.
And that's happening to TikTok.
Now it's happening to TikTok. And then I'm seeing a reemergence of this in YouTube because everyone just eventually moves over to YouTube anyways. And I just think like, man, the young people, I don't know how you live. I genuinely don't know how I would have lived in 2021 as a preteen or a teenager. We
were kind of the last generation to not have the camera phone thing as a big part of our lives. I think the phone on cameras, I mean the cameras on phones, they weren't good until like I think we were halfway through college.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were like, no one used their phone camera really till like Instagram became a thing. Yeah, which is like 2010 I think was when Instagram became a thing. But you'd think that like it's just Gen Zers. No, it's millennials too.
Oh, it's millennials. Oh my god, I have a story to tell. Well, yes, I have a story to tell.
I'm currently reading, dear reader. I'm currently listening to Dear Reader, the unauthorized biography of Kim Jong-il as told to Michael Malice. It is 100% real. I am at the section where they're talking basically about CRT. It's amazing. If you would like to listen to this book, head over to audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe podcast, where you'll get one free audiobook. That's audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe podcast.
Janet and I, our very first concert, post-COVID, It's been like a year and a half almost, or more, since the last time we saw a show. So we saw Tame Impala at the Hollywood Bowl. So we go, and there was tons of people, and again, being the artists that we are, we're like, oh, what's the age demographic? What's going on here? And I wonder who is still engaged in this and participating in this music stuff. And yes, it was a lot of us as millennials.
Yeah.
It was mostly millennials. I don't think I don't think I saw someone younger, maybe a few, but like I definitely didn't see anybody older. Like very rarely did I see someone older. So we go, and it was a good time. Tame Impala, as you know, former psych rock band, basically a psych pop band now.
Yeah.
There are many different fans of his. There are fans of his old stuff, like me, and there are fans of his new poppier stuff, which are the kids and the TikTok people.
Yes.
You would say?
And the girls.
Yes. And then we're sitting right in the center, and like we're really, getting into the concert. And man, there's just a fucking sea of cell phones everywhere. There's like almost like every other row, and then row next to it, and another one right next to there. There were just so many people just like with the cell phones putting up the stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because like we go to shows all the time, like we saw King Gizzard at the Greek. It wasn't like that at all. We see smaller shows, it's not like that. But I was thinking, like, what the fuck is up with this show that people are like, recording this guy? And like, if you know anything about this band, this guy Kevin Parker is starting to produce many of pop's favorite artists. He did a song, Rihanna did one of his songs. He just did a collaboration with Little Yachty, right? Little Yachty. And he's become sort of a clout chasing figure, even though like I'm sure Tame has like, he has nothing to do with that. It's just the way he's perceived. But people want to like document the event so that they get the likes and the shares and the follows on their favorite social media app. And I thought it was just so crazy that I usually do record a clip just for like my own thing of like, oh yeah, this is when I saw Nine Inch Nails or whatever. But then that time I really wanted to like remember it, because it was my very first show at the Hollywood Bowl. And then the light show is amazing. There are like so many things that I loved about it. They've played, like, the craziest part was Tame played my favorite Tame song, which is this really obscure song that I was like so sure. I was so sure he wasn't going to play. It's a song called Keep On Lying. It's on Lonerism, the second album. And like, I love that song. I would play it all the time. And then when he played it in the show, I freaked out. I flipped the fuck out. But I was the only one.
Yeah. Everyone was like, what is this song?
Yeah. But then like, it was crazy because like I knew what he was doing. Like in Keep On Lying, in the middle section, there's this like synth part that is very reminiscent of like a Doors solo that kind of just like goes on and on. You're not a fan of Doors solos.
No.
You're not really a fan of the Doors.
No.
But whatever. It was like it was so obvious. I mentioned in the show as he was playing it. Yeah. It's like he's doing the Doors thing.
Homage, yeah.
Yeah. And then after he was like, we're here in Los Angeles, so we wanted to do an homage to you.
Like the 1960 show of the Doors.
Yeah, where Jim Morrison was doing unsavory things. Let's not talk about that. Yep. But like, no one in the audience gave a flying about. Like, in fact, I don't think any of the people in the audience knew what the he was talking about.
Tame comes across very introverted to me. Like, we've seen a few concerts. You've seen a lot more concerts than I have, but you brought me to see a few, and I noticed that Tame, out of everyone, is like really, 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 really introverted. He doesn't really have a stage presence. In fact, like, you don't even technically need to like look at him in the show, like, because most of the time the lights, it's hard to see anyways. And I don't know why, because it's his own concert. He'll introduce a song going, the name of this song is Elephant. Or the name of this song is something something. And then I remember thinking like, dude, this is your concert, bro. Like you don't have to just you
play.
think people know the name of your songs. They know your songs. This concert is for you. And then at the end of every song, like everyone cheers and applauds, and he goes, "Thank you." And I'm just like, oh god, he's such an awkward human being. So
He's awesome though.
yeah, but so like when he's like at the end of the song, I can tell like he was like really into it, kind of, because he starts talking about it, like it's
Like he geeking out about
yeah.
it.
It was the first time he like broke in between to talk about something, and he was like, yeah, you know, I was doing like a 1962 like homage to the Doors. Sounds like the Doors, right? And I'm like, these millennials. No idea who the Doors are. Nor do they care about the history of the Hollywood Bowl and the Doors and what show he's even talking about. And I see people like talking to each other, not listening, and like looking at their phones, just like they didn't want this song, to be honest. They didn't care, and I was just kind of like,
yeah, it's not the one that like is gonna get them hella views on TikTok, you know.
Like
and you better believe when that song played, the fucking crowd went
like
crazy, as
yeah.
crazy as I did for the song that I like.
Yeah, and I thought like it felt very much like when someone is singing at a coffee shop and like they're talking to the crowd, but the crowd's like not listening. They're like talking about, oh, you know what I did at work last Tuesday, blah blah blah. And I was just like, wow, this is like so perfect for the end of this song, because like people are, I think it's that song or a different song where people are like talking over him in a party or something, and he feels very alone.
That's the song.
Yeah. I was like, wow, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's literally happening as we speak. And I just felt very like these millennials, they're not here for Tame. They're not here to even enjoy the music. They're here to get that clip, that photo, that like they're clout chasing. And like you got really upset.
Yeah, I was like thinking like, what the is going on? So like the show ends and then you take a pee. Mm-hmm. So you go take a pee, you know, lines. Yeah. Tell you what, you wait in line, and then like I'm waiting for you pee, and like there's this girl next to me, and she's like watching the show. Clips on her phone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, did you not just watch the show that just transpired? Mm-hmm. And then like as we were because we wanted to like get like leave that area so we could get like a lift, we like walked all the way down to Sunset, and like everyone was doing like they were like watching their own clips of the show on their phone, and
as if they weren't there.
As if they weren't there, and then probably like, you know, posting on whatever social media. And I was just like, geez, like again, like maybe this is old news to you, but like for the shows I've seen, it like maybe it's the musicians I like are so obscure or wherever that like, you know, you don't get any clout for like, you know, I don't go to the Travis Scott. I want to go to the Doja Cat.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, like that would be sick, but like I go to grandpa So this is my first time going to like a hip, I think that's what it is. I think we went to a hip show
for once
in our lives, a show that would like make us seem cool to like certain people, but then all I saw was a bunch of uncools.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I remember thinking like, oh, you guys are doing it so wrong, because I was like, man, I feel like I'd be such a good clout chaser if I cared that much.
How would you clout chase well using the fact that you were in a Tame Impala concert?
I wouldn't be at a Tame Impala show. Like you would be.
But that ship has sailed.
Yeah, like so what I realized is like, oh, judging by the demographic, the fact that there's like very few Gen Zers here, and these are all millennials. They look like at least 25 and up. Like they have jobs.
Yeah. And
I remember thinking like, you know, the millennials, they're all kind of stuck in the Instagram way of doing things, of like they're filming these clips and they're taking these photos for the gram.
My life is awesome.
My life is
that
awesome.
Is the anthem of the millennial. My life is awesome.
Meanwhile, I just have come off of like researching TikTok again, and that's not what you do for clout in 2021. You have to be doing something. You can't just show up to an event or be at a place or make your life look really cool. You literally have to be doing something at least to be cool. You have to dance, you have to do whatever, you have to out someone, you have to do something.
Have a story.
Yeah.
No matter how it looks.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, and if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to, like, take a clip of some kind of concert that you're at the wrong show. Like, no one cares. Clearly, no Gen Zer cares about Tame. And I realize, Tame is overrated at this point. Like, that's how you know. Like, people don't care about him anymore. They care about Doja Cat, because that's what I kept on seeing over and over and over again on TikTok. She is like everyone loves her right now, like probably more than any other celebrity on TikTok. She's like the person, and she's having like some major tour or something. Like, I keep seeing. Like,
and Doja started out like on TikTok.
Basically,
tons of stuff on TikTok.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, she was like coming up. And then now she's like mainstream.
Yeah, so people. Like, I don't think you're gonna get all that much clout tweeting, posting some kind of Tame clip, but you definitely will get clout for if you like caught Doja Cat winking at you at her concert or something. Like, yeah,
I can see that clip getting like 1 million
yeah,
likes.
exactly. And usually it's like people in the comments going like, I think I'm gay. Or I'm confused about my sexuality. Or like usually all of that. And where it's like, oh my god, she's like the something I also learned is the term Yas Queen is like very boomer millennial.
It's over.
It's over.
Term. Yeah. Yes.
The terms that they use now is you understood the assignment because it's part of a song.
Okay.
Yes. And like usually instead of saying like you're really doing something, people will be like mommy, or please step on me, or I'm very confused about my sexuality. Like, it's very popular to pretend to be gay or bisexual, or at least imply it these days, which is like strange to me. It's like
seems baity.
It's very baity. And yeah, that's boomer millennial like translation 101. Our lingo is like over. There's a whole new, like, even apparently like king or like you drop your crown is like so 2020. Like, no
really?
one, yeah.
I liked you dropped your crown. That's a really good one. I thought it was really cute.
And people don't really say that anymore.
That's old now?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people are like, oh, I want to use that, and then we're like saying, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So what's, people are trying to find what's hip to get clout. Are there any more instances, Janet, do you think, of this behavior again?
Yes. So we talked about Gen Z, we talked about the millennials, and you think because all these they kind of describe female behavior, the men, you guys aren't off the hook either. You recently showed me a video that Actman did.
Oh, the Actman.
On basically Dr. Disrespect.
Right. Oh,
and
so good. I saw it was like number 22
yeah.
on YouTube gaming. I was like, what the f***, Actman?
And I realized, like, after watching it, it's very similar to our podcast last week about how, like, things are changing really fast. And we gave examples of, like, how it's changing on social media and entertainment and that kind of thing. And then I was shocked to find that things are changing really, really hard in the video game sphere, too. And I used to be really heavy into the, like, gaming side of YouTube. Like, I used to watch, like, PewDiePie, like, religiously and stuff like that.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. When
we were dating?
No, only in high school.
Before.
Yeah.
He was, like, doing that shit in high school?
He's been doing it, like, since the beginning. It's been a really long time. Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, what the Actman was saying in this video is that Call of Duty streamers don't understand Halo. And he was basically like, no shade, this is just pure criticism, but like people like Dr. Disrespect, they make their money on battle royale games. Like Fortnite, like every shooter game that has come out.
If you have been living under a rock, you've seen those kids playing the Fortnites, or the Minecraft. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
People are Love that stuff. But like it's this game type where, like Battle Royale, the fictional Japanese property.
Yes.
A bunch of strange. Oh, think what is it? Katniss Everdeen, Hunger Games.
Yes.
Think Hunger Games. A
but
bunch
like
of
video game shooter form.
Right, a bunch of players fall from the sky into this arena, and then there will be one that survives.
Yes, and you win.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really fascinating because in what I grew up with like video games and stuff, it was very much like Markiplier and PewDiePie, where they like played everything. They needed this video game launch cycle of like new game. Let me do a walkthrough. Let me do a playthrough. Let me do Goat Simulator. Like they're trying to find
That's how that games like those blow up.
Yeah.
Like those really dumb meme games.
But then with the era of like Dr. Disrespect, it became about the very specific niche that is battle BR games, basically, where they're really, really good at this specific niche. They've built an audience around this specific niche. And my intro into this, which I thought was really fascinating, was that it's very different from the way like millennials behave, I think, in terms of video games. The reason why Dream, in my opinion, is really, really popular, he's a really popular same BR niche, but like for younger
Is this
generation.
a streamer?
Yeah, he's a streamer.
Okay.
The reason why people can play like Minecraft and like Fortnite and these types of BR games over and over and over again, because there's like lore. It's like Battle Royale with Dungeons and Dragons. Like people are making up scenarios and like elections apparently, and like different types of like drama, and it's almost like a reality TV show.
But with your second life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So the longevity of you playing a game is much longer. You can create a whole niche around Minecraft, around Fortnite, instead of like back in the day you just like watch a gamer play like all the games. You know, like, oh, this new game came out, I'm going to play it. I'm going to show you a playthrough. And then, okay, I'm done. Now what?
Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead.
So many games to try and play. But now, like, some people's entire channel or niche is a singular game because it can last that long. If you're just constantly making, like, scenarios and storylines and, like, characters and whatever, basically. And you do this with other streamers, and that's how you kind of form cliques, and like everyone comes up together, and you guys are like, you have huge numbers, you bring, like they talk about their numbers, like TV show ratings. They're like, oh, how many people do you have on your stream? How many people do you have on your stream?
Right, on Actman's video, they showed some of that stuff, and then like they talk about it on stream.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a strange topic to talk about on stream, but I guess. And basically what Actman was saying is like a lot of people who like Dr. Disrespect in this BR niche are almost like it's scripted, criticizing Halo for not having a BR like section of the game, because it's very
like they're all in cahoots, saying we should all say the same thing.
Yeah, and it's mostly because they see their numbers dwindling. That they see, like, they know that their audience only is following them for BR related content. They're not following them to like do, I don't know, Sekiro. They're not following them for RPG stuff or like Skyrim stuff. They're very specific. Like I want like do the thing, do the BR thing, or else we won't watch. And they understand that, and they want their numbers to be a certain way. But I think what's really interesting from like the content creator side, I really like understood a lot of what Actman was saying about like, as on the side of the content creator, this is what it's like. And he was saying how like when you make a niche for yourself like that, you might not even like the game you're playing anymore, but you feel like you've pigeonholed yourself into doing that game. So you're scared you're gonna lose your viewers, your subscribers, your followers, whatever, if you dare play anything else.
It's similar to the people on YouTube stuck with a niche that
yeah.
they get eventually tired of, right?
Yeah. And I thought it was really interesting that, like, you can clearly see it on their face that, like, they're so tired of playing BR Call of Duty, and they want Halo to have a BR so bad because they're like,
it's a change of pace.
I want to play a different game, please. And I was just like, that's so, what Actman was saying, just play another game, dude. You're clearly very, very talented. And like he showed some amazing clips of like Dr. Disrespect, like being like the snipe king.
Okay,
and then I was like, dang.
Mid people jumping in midair, fucking headshots, just like.
I was like, whoa. And he, even in the gaming world, things are changing in that, like, you know, it changed so drastically, in my opinion, to go from like someone that just kind of played through whatever hot game is out currently, and then that's like their cycle, to specifically you have to be really good at
niching down.
BR, specifically. And then now, like, people are kind of getting tired of Call of Duty, so like they were worried about their views, and then they're like, I need another game, but it needs to be a BR game, otherwise like no one's gonna watch. I think the fact that these people look at all of this just like TV show ratings was just like fascinating to me. But then for them to be that worried about it, like Actman was like, you're talented, you can make another niche for yourself, you don't have to just always play Call of Duty. Like he was talking about like his numbers and how like he's doing great. Like I was so shocked by Actman's numbers. I was like, dang,
insane. It's like 2 million
for a stream.
Hella views on stream too.
Yeah,
Jesus.
And he was like, when you get to like a certain size, eventually you gotta pivot, you gotta do something to make your life a little bit more interesting. Because he's like, hey look, we all had dark times where we did some questionable stuff for views, and then he showed some like amazing clips of him doing some weird things for views. But like you gotta, like, you don't have to just keep trying to, like, I don't know, do BR just to get views. And I thought, like, man, everything is changing. Video games, entertainment, social media, everything, and it's all changing into this like weird thing that I'm not sure I understand anymore.
I don't even know what it's changing into yet. It's happening so fast, but I don't understand. So what is the connecting tissue between these three stories? The TikTok, the Tame Impala story, the Actman story.
That people are doing things only for view. Like, they're so desperate for likes. Everyone is so desperate for likes. They're willing to do the most toxic, craziest things just for it, just to retain some of it, or to get some of it, or to like keep it for as long as possible. And you think that, like, oh, it's just a young person thing, it's a millennial and Gen Z thing. You guys are like crazy. You guys are stupid. You guys, your brains have rotted from the internet, and like there's no hope for you. I go like, oh, have you not been paying attention to politics? So I feel like whatever's happening to Gen Z, the awful stuff that you're doing to each other and other people are doing to you and everything, translates to parents being worried, parents being upset that things are happening to their children. And like most young people, when there's not a main presidential election, they just go to sleep. Which, in my opinion, you should. Like, I don't think any sane young person should be paying attention to politics. You got better things to do. You gotta, like,
just finish school.
Yeah.
Just focus on that.
Yeah, how about that? But for everyone who has fallen asleep, things have been crazy in the political world in the past, like, month or so.
Just 1 month.
Yeah. And it's all kind of related. Like, I do not think the boomers and the Gen Xers are exempt from this behavior, because you guys are just as bad.
How bad did it get?
Really bad. So
there was a election.
Yes.
In Virginia.
Yes.
Gubernatorial election.
Yes.
Obama went
in
support of the incumbent Democratic candidate.
Yes.
Kamala Harris went in support of the incumbent Democratic candidate, and so did Joe Biden.
Yes. And they lost to the Republican candidate.
Yeah.
But everything that preceded all of that is far more interesting to me.
Literally the week before this election,
yes,
just everything was falling apart.
Lots of October surprises that backfired, I would say. Hoaxes, I guess. So the Republican goes on, like, you know, his tour. What's it called? His rallies and stuff. Right. He goes on tour, and there's like this photo op of like what the media called white supremacists reenacting the tiki torch thing from Charlottesville a few years ago. And the first thing I thought was like, wow, that's a really diverse cast of white supremacists you got there.
Yeah. This is the most diversity I've seen from white supremacists ever. Is this historic? Like, look at this. And then, like, everybody on Twitter was just clowning on them and just piling on. And then we all thought, like, how absurd is this? I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Like they don't look like, you know, like, have you seen Black Klansman? You must have seen Black Klansman, right? Like that's not what we're seeing here. This is like, you know, this is like city people, city folk.
And everyone was calling them feds.
Yes.
Because that's what you are.
Yep.
You're some racist feds if you do that. And it turns out after the fact, because everyone like didn't buy it for a second, and that they got caught real quick, even though they're wearing sunglasses, that these are not white supremacists. These are Democrats pretending to be white supremacists.
They have tiki torches and everything. That's a little on the nose. And it's raining.
Yeah.
Like, why would they have that while it's raining? It's like they played the part too hard. And they couldn't even, like, make it an exact, like, version of something realistic. They had to make it, like, a diverse cast of white supremacists.
Yes.
They couldn't help themselves.
And then the Lincoln Project comes out after the fact. After, like, a lot of Democrats totally didn't know that, like,
in the beginning they capitalized on it.
They capitalized on it. They were like, oh my god, can you believe these awful people?
Can you believe these awful racists in front of my rally?
Yeah, or that person's rally. They're awful. These type of people support that person. And then the Lincoln Project came out and was like, it was a hoax because we did it, haha. After they got caught, and then everyone's just like,
it was incredible, and I can't believe, like, this is the type of news I was like, oh my god, we're never gonna know the truth about this. But then all of a sudden they fessed up, and I was like, what is happening? And then to make matters worse, like, we were all just like flabbergasted on the internet that whole afternoon, and then the night of this dude's rally, some guy with a fresh, like, jean jacket and a 10-gallon or a big ass hat, whatever the heck you call it, has like a Confederate flag on his back. Yeah, but it's like fresh. Brand new,
like freshly ironed on,
freshly ironed on. And then we're like, at this point, it's just like, if you have a Confederate flag, you're a fucking fed. Yeah, you're like, racist. Fed.
A racist fed. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Because at this point, it's just like, why does this keep happening? And then you see video. I wonder if we can find this video, but this person, you can see video from, like, I guess security camera, I don't know, far away footage of, like, him planting himself there
in front of the camera
for the moment, and then leaving to get the photo up, and then that's it.
Yeah, he like checks. Oh, did they take the photo? Okay, time to leave.
Time to leave.
But then, like, in what universe do people, like, see stuff like that and not immediately, like, what journalist doesn't immediately want to talk to that guy and be like, wow, who are you? And, like, trying to get a story. But, like, no one did. I thought that was
because, like,
suspicious.
Everyone immediately, like, wanted to know the identities of the original Tiki Torch, kind of, like, people in the rain. Yeah, but then no one really, pounced to wonder who this was. Yeah.
If you're really that offended by this man wearing a new Confederate patch on his new jean jacket, and I thought, like, what's worse? So an actual racist or people pretending to be racist?
Yes, let us know in the comments down below. Like, what is worse?
Because I can't tell the difference at this point. Because if you're gonna pretend to be a racist, you just are a racist.
Yeah, that's just
like.
I mean,
Who does that?
if you are a racist, you are a racist.
Yes. Period.
But if you are pretending to be racist, surely you must know that you're pretending because you know racism is bad.
Yes.
But then you do it anyway.
But you do like.
Yeah.
The same way people don't like LARP should not LARP the bad guys from WW2.
Right.
And when you do, you're just a racist. And so when from now on, when we see shit like that, be like, you're a racist fed.
Yeah.
Like, no one likes you.
Plant. So the crazy things have been happening. New Jersey. I'm not sure at this moment, but there's a truck driver who just ousted the incumbent dude.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like right now, like you could be a truck driver and then you could like make it.
Yeah.
You know, you could like, I don't know. I kept telling you, well, I'm sure a truck driver knows more about America than whoever the was in office.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they've
driven everywhere. You would think.
Then, like, so people, even in politics, are doing the craziest things for views and attention and whatever, and likes and whatever, to be liked. And I'm just like, I don't know in what universe you thought that was a good idea. But then the only thing, like, even though a lot of this is backfiring, because it did backfire, I mean...
Horribly.
Everyone who was part of that marketing team was like, should be fired. And because it backfired, a lot of the country is now turning red. A lot of them are like, inflation is happening, my life kind of sucks right now, I'm going to blame you, the Democrats who are in charge and can actually do something. You are in charge, right? Like, you're the reason why my life sucks. But because a lot of, the shills on the internet and in the media, they refuse to just accept defeat gracefully, or at least they're too much
look inward, so that they can do better next time.
Maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I need to improve whatever I can offer to people, and like, I don't know, maybe I can convince them next time. Instead, they're just going blaming white women and like racism. And it's
like it's 2016.
Yeah, and it's like, that doesn't. I'm not like, you're gonna have to dupe a whole new group of young people in order to make that work again. But we all know that young people don't go out and vote. Okay, so
also the parents are mad.
Yes.
Parents are really, really angry.
Yes.
And I don't think there's any quelling this thing. Like, they messed with the parents.
Yeah.
And it's not looking so great.
And I think, like, it's not just white women, it's just parents, period. Like, every single race of parents just care about their kids. That's it. Like, to suggest that, like, it's racism is very, like,
no one believes you
at this point. It's just so silly. Like, I saw a chart where, like, the people who believe that it's like racism, it's mostly just college educated people. Like, literally everyone else is just like, especially it's people fresh out of college too, in my opinion. And I think it's like, wow, that's interesting. Makes sense.
That was really something, man. That was really something when I saw that news break on Twitter. I was like, wow. Like, look at that. They're like dressing up like them because they can't seem to find or generate any footage of legit ones. So they have to like fake.
You couldn't
fake them.
Any of them? So you had to dress up and pretend to be them? Like, what's the difference at this point?
Yeah. Jeez.
And I think it's easy to blame social media for stuff like this. But we recently watched a movie by Elia Kazan.
It's called Face in a Crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You want to explain the synopsis? Basically?
Yeah, so Andy Griffith plays this bluesman. Just he's in jail, and there's this lady who has a radio show. Very, like, it's very similar to like a podcast show where like she just talks to random people and wants to hear the average everyday normie's take on life or whatever. And then suddenly she discovers this guy, and he like is really, really good at talking, and he has the gift of gab. He's a really great performer, great singer, very charismatic, but he's also a drunkard, and his choices are very questionable. But like his presence on the show is so popular with everyone that he gets taken in and becomes part of the radio show, and he gets so big he becomes a part of the, you know, state radio show, and then he gets even bigger, and he basically starts ending up in commercials, and then he ends up in basically like a late night show, exactly like a Stephen Colbert kind of bullshit. And it's basically his progression from like some foo in prison, just some average guy, to, you know, probably at the end of the movie, one of the most powerful people in the story. He
becomes so powerful that, like, as his influence grows, politicians start taking notice of him, and they will actually go to him for advice on how to win elections, basically.
And then at this point, you can see the blend of entertainment and politics.
And it has always been a thing. And it's really fascinating to me because he goes and tells a politician that's very unpopular, like, basically trains him on how to be popular, how to be liked.
Because he's like unrelatable as fuck. Like, he is just an average politician. He has no like Kamala Harris. Remember?
Yes.
Oh my God. And then, like, you know, at a certain point she disappeared for a while, and she came back with this personality.
Manufactured personality.
Yes, very, very from a lab.
Newly installed.
Yeah, and I can see that. Like, oh, this has always been a thing.
Yeah.
Like, kind of performers coaching people, or people who are good at coaching people, period. How to be appealing to a mass audience. This is a thing that's been going on for forever.
He was so, like, he's a master at being relatable. The main character, Lonesome Rhodes, was like, he knew like exactly what the working people wanted to see to be, and what he had to say in order to get them to like him. And at a certain point, I think he was very genuine at the beginning. He did understand a lot of the working, like, because he was just an average dude, average Joe turned celebrity. And then at the end, though, you can see the power start getting to him, and he thinks so lowly of the people he talks to through the TV. He like calls them like, I don't remember. He's like, oh, you rats, or you worms.
It's the meanest
like,
thing.
But beneath me,
yeah.
I can have you eating out of my palm in 2 seconds. All I have to do is smile and do this or whatever. And I thought, you told me after the fact that Ilya Kazan was a communist who survived McCarthyism.
He renounced communism, I think, or something like that, in order to like survive that wave of deportation, I think, from McCarthyism. And but he always sort of had, like, I guess, that lens. And then in this movie you can see obviously the critique of like entertainment, and how entertainment quickly turns into propaganda to control the public.
And what happens to someone who's just...
Like, it takes a mind like that to really illustrate properly to normies, like, what the plight is, like, what it, you know, to help other people understand. Right?
Yeah. And how you can so easily go from, like, a normal average person into basically what we would call a grifter in today's day and age.
And like, there's so many things when we watch that movie, we're just like, oh man, this is just like Hollywood, just like YouTubers, it's just like people. There's always going to be gifted people who have the gift of gab, really good at like wooing people. And, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and sometimes they wield it for good, and sometimes they do awful things for it, and they help awful people with it.
Yes. And I don't know, it, like, I related to, there's a character in the movie that's like the writer, and he's just like the nice guy. the guy that, like, the girl never falls in love with.
Right.
But he at the end has this amazing speech that I completely related to. That he was like, I mean, I guess we'll spoil it because I don't.
I mean,
at the end, the guy basically gets outed as being an asshole. The main character, who's so charismatic, and everyone leaves his side, None of the politicians want to talk to him. None of his friends want anything to do with him. He's alone. And he's been treating his manager slash best friend basically really, really poorly, but she's always been there for him. She's in love with him, almost got married. And like she was the one that like betrayed him and like outed him to everyone. And so like but this guy, he's like so desperately clutching on to fame and being loved, and he's like, you'll see, I'm gonna like make them be eating out of my hands again, you just see people, like I'll have them again. And then the writer is just kind of like, yeah, you know, you will, like you won't be the biggest thing ever though. You will have to take like a period of time where it cools off a little bit, and then someone will give you another show again, but it won't be quite as big as this show. It'll just be like something to like appease you, and then people will like you a little bit, but it won't be the same. Nothing will truly be the same, and eventually they'll start replacing you with someone just like you, but just like a little bit more likable, younger, better, whatever. And then you're gonna start fading away, and you won't get work anymore. And then people will be like, man, what was that guy's name? There was that guy that was like really, really popular one day, that one time, and like whatever happened to him? And that's what's gonna happen to you. And then that's kind of just how the movie ends. And then I was just like, man, that's like the realest ending to this as well. It's not like he doesn't get what he deserves. If he did, it's like not like a perfect Hollywood ending where like this evil, awful person who's turned evil gets exactly what he deserves. No, he gets humiliated, yes, but like he's going to get everything he wanted. Everyone like in Hollywood, in my opinion, gets what they want. But are they happy at the end of the day? Not really.
Depends on who you ask.
They all go through whatever this Lonesome Rhodes person went through. And I thought like another part of it too was like Elia Kazan, I thought it was really interesting that he's a communist, because like he in this movie he's very anti-war. And like I feel like every millennial, including us, are very, very anti-war. At least you should be. But then like communists these days and people who say they are very left-leaning or whatever suddenly have turned very for war, as long as the right people are telling you to be for war. And I just thought like, man, I wonder what someone like Elia Kazan would think about everything that's happening right now.
Goddamn travesty.
But yeah, like it made me realize that this is an old movie. It's in black and white. And it's about radio, and like this type of stuff, this doing stunts and doing the most to be liked, has always been a thing for as long as we could remember. As long as like celebrities have been a thing, people taking advantage of celebrities and people with influence and then turning them into whatever, or maybe they were always awful, has always been a thing. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to think of like, what can we learn from all of this? Other than just like my observations of the world and just like everyone sucks. And I just think like, sadly, I think Gen Z is doomed. Because I genuinely can't like see how someone grows up in something as bad as this. Because like in this movie, this person can only have become a celebrity because he was given the chance on a radio show. Someone else had to give him this chance. Meanwhile, in 2021, anyone can go do something crazy on the internet, clearly,
and become the next sensation.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds, and then like it's not even 15 seconds of fame anymore. It's like 2 seconds of fame. And I think at the end of the day, I my only advice, the only thing I would gather from all of this is that like in order to be a content creator on the internet and to do well, you have to be really mentally tough. You have to be so strong in the mind, because I've been thinking about how I deal with hate and how I deal with all of it, and I feel like I deal with it a lot better than I feel like someone younger than me would deal with it. Like, anyone who dislikes me, anyone who wants to yell at me or whatever, basically yelling into a void. Because if I see that stuff and, like, it's affecting my mental health, just, like, throw my phone across the room and be like, check out for, like, a week or so. Or whatever. I just won't look at it. Like, you people, like, the haters or whatever, don't exist in my mind. And they don't drag me down, I guess. They don't, like, keep me from moving forward and doing better and making better stuff. Which, I feel like that's the worst thing that can happen, to let it affect you and to make it so that you can't make anymore. Which is, like, what you want to do. But I feel really bad when I see, like, 15-year-olds being subjected to this, or even, like, just 20-something-year-olds, like, someone less strong than me, someone who doesn't have someone like you are for me, who doesn't have, like, someone to just take care of their mental health, and to be like, to check in on them and be like, are you okay, and like, stuff like that. Because it's like, I genuinely feel like these people who are doing these awful things to other people, the basic way of looking at it is that they are hateful. They hate you for whatever reason, and to try to, like, rationalize it at all. And I think, like, no. It's much more basic than that. They're doing it for the laughs. A lot of them are. Like, I genuinely don't believe most of these people who are like, oh, you're such a pick-me, you're such a this, you're so cringe, whatever. I don't believe that they hate you. I don't think they think that much about you. I think they're just trying to, I don't know, get their laughs in when they can, and the schadenfreude of it all. And I think, like, people are using other people's mental health, their emotions, their being, and that, like, I genuinely think, like, this whole social media making young girls depressed, suicidal, all that stuff, like, it's a very real thing, and it's getting worse. And I think, like, anyone who isn't mentally tough probably shouldn't do this job, because, like, you might kill yourself. Like, I genuinely feel that way about these people, and, like, they're not going to accept responsibility for the part that they play in hurting other people in that way. And I just, like, then, you know, as someone who has been bullied a lot in my life, especially when I was younger, and then having, like, just become an adult and just, I don't know, become stronger because of it, I really feel like there's no point in blaming the bully. There's no point in blaming the people who would sit back and enable the bully and, like, watch. But you can make yourself really, really, really strong and, like, not let it affect you. But if you can't, I don't know if content creation, like, people should want to be content creators if you can't handle that stuff.
That's such dark stuff to end with.
Yeah.
And Gen Z's doomed. I mean, come on, you gotta have some sort of silver lining.
You're not if you're strong. Yeah, don't be a pussy.
Yeah, Janet, say it again.
Don't be a pussy. Janet Chan.
Janet Chan.
What
are we recommending? What are we recommending?
We are recommending Actman's video. It's titled Call of Duty Streamers Don't Understand Halo.
What do you think of Actman's recent videos, man?
He's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Actman until you showed me Actman, but he is really thorough and well-researched and entertaining.
You don't even like this type of, like, bro gamer content that much.
Yeah.
But, like, I would watch it and you would just be, like, really enamored by the production of it all.
As a fellow content creator, I am very impressed by his level of detail. And
30 minutes long sometimes. 1 hour long sometimes, those videos.
My favorite video of his is when he was talking about Xbox Live.
Which was that one?
It was when he was like, remember the days of Xbox Live?
Oh, right.
And there's so much audio of what men and boys do and say to each other.
The battle cries before they go play Digital Warfare.
Yes, it's hilarious. It's so funny. And unless, like, you've had brothers or male friends or a boyfriend or you're just aware of the type of shit talking that happened back in the day that like I don't even know exists in 2021 because we're all so PC now, but like, oh my god, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Hilarious.
If you like this episode, make sure to like, jingle all our bells and buttons. Check out these other episodes over here to binge all our other episodes, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.